Yeah, so Thunder Punch is good for like Greninja, Gyarados, stuff like that. Not really that useful for much else, but Greninja and Gyarados are both pretty prevalent mons and pretty good too. You're not really gonna want to miss out. Plus, maybe versus like if I can implement, I don't know. Although Quake does that as well. Quake is just cool for mirrors, but you can also just run Zen slash Sub. Kind of the same thing. They're both for Mega Venusaur. It's pretty, as I mentioned, higher usage. Let me see. Earthquake, Toxic, Rock Tomb. Yeah, you can use that, I guess. Although I don't think any of them are that good. Toxic, I think, has potential versus Babiri, Whimsicott, and Chansey. But yeah. Hammer Arm, too, I guess. Although it's not really that good. I think that's better than SM. But on a Mega Mawile. Mega Mawile. This is what people are running back in ORAS mostly. But it's a lot different than in OU because it's not like you're trying to nail these Pokemon on the Switch and trying to 2KO them and chip them. You're trying to 1v1 them. So if they can 1v1 you, if they can kill you, then you're done. But if they can't, they can't. So there's no use running Thunder Punch, Fire Fang. For Fire Fang isn't really relevant. Metal Burst is I'll get to that earlier or later. Knockoff, not really a good move. Focus Punch, all that type of stuff. It's not really that good. Although SD, Iron Head, Player of Sucker Punch, it's supposedly the standard set. SD and Iron Head are actually the most expendable. You'll want Player Off and and Sucker consistently, but these ones are kind of like whatever. This is supposed like SD, Iron Head. Iron Head is mostly with SD for other Mawiles, so you might want to run. Maybe get a little cheeky there and run 8 speed, a little quirky, but it's for mostly other Mawiles, and a lot of them are going Spit F these days, so without Player Off or without Iron Head and SD, so you can get the matchup on that. But yeah, this SD Iron Head kind of expendable. SD isn't useful for a whole lot. Like there will be times you want to use it versus like Chansey, Mega Venusaur, but there are other moves that can be useful for those type of Pokemon. And in general, the meta, I wouldn't say it's moving towards dropping them, but it's definitely easy to drop them. It's not very hard to give up Iron Head. You're giving up your own Mawile matchup, but that's like kind of it. Like if you look at it, SD isn't that useful for that much. Although, yeah, this is a kind of the new set, I'd say, quote unquote, that a lot of people are running these days, and I think it's definitely justified. Player of Second Punch, you're gonna want these just because they hit everything. Like yeah, you don't want like knockoff or any of that. But Taunt is cool for like Whimsicott, which is pretty prevalent. It's A rank mon. Maybe for Venusaur, though Charm has a good matchup versus that. Metal Burst is with Spit F. This actually lives pretty much every Greninja and Porygon Z set, as well as Specs Kieran Black. And this set will it will lose to Kieran Black, like it will. We'll get to Kieran Black later, but yeah, this is it's kind of this first special mons. Although this set has a way better Gyarados matchup than Spit F, because you're really weak versus other Gyarados with Spit F. So yeah, it's kind of just for this set is kind of we're gonna want to Player Off twice. But the attack is really useful for Gyaradoses. But like the Spit F helps, and if you see, look at Mawile here, man, it beats with Spit F. It beats all these Pokemon. It beats Kieran Black and Porygon Z2. Like it's really prevalent mon. Definitely better at stall breaking with Taunt, because you can taunt Chansey, stuff like that. Even though Chansey isn't really that relevant, and you can taunt Whimsicotts. Yeah, and actually, if you taunt a Mew, if they're Amnesia, you'll probably win. But if not, it depends. Saturn should be taunt, I think. But yeah, these steals are just really good in general. Heatran is an interesting steal because it doesn't get as much usage as either of those Pokemon. And you're never going to want to use Mawile and Metagross. That's a really bad core because there's just way too much overlap. Mawile, I guess, beats like fucking Sableye, but they both use the kind of the same stuff, kind of stall. Not stall really, because stall isn't that relevant. But like Charizard, ground types. But yeah, Heatran is different because it is a steel type that like definitely like 100% beats Charizard. Rock Tomb and plus Earth Power definitely does a job. Rock Tomb and Rock Tomb in general, I mean, is kind of cool move 1-1. And Flash Cannon here is for like Mega Gardevoir, because you're never gonna want to run a Steel type that loses the Mega Gardevoir. That's kind of disheartening. Although there are definitely, I think, other options that you can run over Flash Cannon here, or even you can run Ancient Power, and then you get 2 free slots. Although Earth Power plus Rock Tomb helps versus like Victini, but you can run Taunt here for Mega Venusaur. That improves the Mega Venusaur matchup a lot. HP Ice is what I'd run if I wasn't running Earth Power plus Rock Tomb. It can be Garchomp, because Garchomp just outrages. It runs Choice Band, so really it has to pick a move, and it'll pick Outrage on your Air Balloon. Or if it has Fling, it'll Fling, and that sucks. But yeah, you can run HPI to take Garchomps and like Landers T. D-Knight, I guess, if you're facing one without Superpower. You beat Superpowerless a lot, and then you lose the Superpower. That's kind of how Superpower Dragonite works. Yeah, Taunt is cool for like Aqua Wims and Mega Venusaur, Chansey. Although Seismic Toss, I don't think Seismic Toss is that relevant, but yeah. Mewtwo, Taunt, and HPX both have their place. Another cool set is Endure, because I don't know, I haven't used it that much, but Greninja will Hydro Cannon you, and then it'll get locked into that, so you can just Endure, attack, Endure, attack, Endure, attack, and then it'll, like, you'll win. But Endure can also beat a particular Porygon Z set, Nasty Plot, Custap. I'll get into that later. But yeah, these are the Steel types in the meta that are really common. I'll briefly go over the other ones because they're worth noting, but I'll get into that type of stuff later in the series. So Specs Genesect, yeah, it's a special Steel, which is kind of cool. It has different VR matchups. It actually beats Slowbro, which is pretty cool. Scarf Jirachi's pretty good at being Stall. Aegislash, I think, is I don't know. I don't think it has that much of a niche over other Steels. It does have some really good bulk though, and so if you want to use that, you can use that. Aggron is trash. That's my opinion. Anyways, I think Aggron is pretty booty. But it has this Zard matchup kind of similar to Heatran, but a lot worse. You lose to like Wisp or Sub or blah blah blah. It's just, I don't know. I think Mega Aggron is very suboptimal. It's a Steel type with like barely any niche. I think Heatran's better than Mega Aggron, because Mega Aggron kind of does the same stuff. It tries to beat ground types like Donphan maybe or Garchomp, but Heatran can do that. Magnezone is kind of cool. This is a kind of standard, or I guess it's not really standard Nogi, but and this is what you want to run. I don't think Custap is good, but people do run that. Mirror Coat is cool for like special attackers and stuff like Meloetta. Actually, yeah, Meloetta in general. Hyper Beam is for Charizard X. That's about it, but it does hit Charizard X. You can run HP Ice for Garchomp and Lander T, even though Lander T is not relevant like it is in ORAS OU. Like that and Clefable are like not as popular at all. And then Empoleon is a water type. Can beat stuff. It beats like Charizard X, which is cool. But yeah, maybe we'll get into those more later. Opinions. I think, opinion-wise, I think Genesect is aight, Jirachi's aight. Aegislash is really meh. Aggron is pretty trash. Magnezone is cool, I guess. It fits onto some teams of mine, and Empoleon is super underrated. But it's not the best at being a Steel type. I don't know. I think the Meloetta matchup is kind of weird, because they'll run like T-Bolt or Focus Blast or something for it. But yeah, so I went into Steels, which people run Venusaur. I'll get into that. I'm thinking right now I'm just gonna go down the VR and show you guys Gyarados. So this is the set you're gonna want to run. Why should maybe like this? It doesn't matter. Basically, this set Mega Gyarados is pretty boss. I think it's overrated and underrated at the same time, which might seem really weird, but I think people they don't really talk about it that much. It's kind of a mon that people just like have an opinion on and they keep it to themselves, which is not very characteristic of 1v1 players, to be honest. But yeah, this beats a lot of the meta. It can beat Charizard pretty easily. Stone Edge, sorry, my bad. Stone Edge helps for Charizard. Kieran Black, it can beat Kieran Black without running a steel type, which is cool. Beats more like A rank mons, like it beats dragon types like really easily. It beats Charizard dragon types. Yeah, you don't want to try taunt Gary versus Wims. You'll just get taunted yourself. Rhyperior ground types, like it's good with Charizard X because Charizard X is weak to like rock types, ground types, dragon types, you know. I'll show you that actually here. Spoiler alert. Anti-Zard, like a lot of these mons lose to Gyarados. But yeah, it's just a good mon in the meta. I don't want to explain it too hard because if you know 1v1, it's just good. Bulky set lives Kieran Black's Fusion Bolts, I think from Jolly. 2 of them, you got RH twice. Crunch is alright for like Meloetta and stuff. Taunt is pretty cool. I think Taunt, if you don't have anything better run, you should definitely run Taunt because you can win the Gyarados mirror. You can like taunt a lot of bullshit. A lot of bullshit loses to taunt Gyarados. Stone Edge is really cool for Charizard in general because Charizard Y can try to live your waterfall, your +1 waterfall, but Edge will just fuck it up. And same with Wisp X. Wisp X won't want a Mega, and then you can just Stone Edge it and kill it. EQ I think is pretty trash. It beats like Magnezone and like what else does it even beat? I guess Ampharos, quote unquote. Like Volcanion, yeah. It's and Poleon, that's what I was thinking of, yeah. EQ is pretty trash. This is just EV spread you want to run, probably ish. People might want to run 220, but very suboptimal because Mega Garchomp, but Banded Garchomp Outrage, it will 2KO you and you won't be able to outspeed it, and your Outrage won't even kill, which kind of sucks. So yeah, run 223, and this bulk is for Kieran Black's Fusion Bolts, and I think 88 and 80 is for that, but I don't remember what 96 is for. I think it's for something. This is faster than Gren after a +1, so if Greninja Grass Knots you and you DD, you can outrage it and kill it, which is pretty cool. This set, it's more HP invested, and then this is kind of tries to be a jack of all trades, although it's not that fast, so whatever. Yeah, this bulk I think lives Adamant, Kieran Black, Fusion Bolts, 2 of them. And Kieran Black is decently common, so yeah, it's a good mon. Kieran Black is pretty fucking good, but yeah, it beats him. So Gyarados is just a really good mon, and so I'm just gonna keep going down the VR. Talk about Pokemon. Kieran Black is fucking, as you can see here, very versatile Pokemon. This is what people run. Sometimes Scarf. This is like the quote unquote Kieran Black set, like the set, but Kieran Black I think doesn't have a set, like a singular set. That this is why Kieran Black is so good. It can run so much shit. Like look at these stats, and its move pool is so fucking good. You can run this set. Scarf Banded I think is really cool for just plowing down shit, like going like max HP Meloettas, stuff like that. Specs is cool for, I don't know, I think Specs is kinda on the decline for not being able to beat like Spadef Mawile, and it doesn't really beat Metagross. So I think they're definitely better steel type lures to run, but this set, it's alright. If they're not running Spadef, this will fuck them up for sure. And also this is for Heatran and Shadow Ball is for Slowbro, which is pretty cool. Yeah, you'll want to run all 3 of these moves. Haban is cool for other Kieran Blacks and like Charizard, because Charizard will never really want to Wisp you. So you just RH twice. Weakness Policy. This is an old set from like Deg. It can try to beat Mawile. It doesn't really that easily. I think it might. Doesn't it live Garchomp Outrage? I don't know. But it tries to beat stuff that'll OHKO it and then hit back. But it's kind of an outdated set, but people still run it, I think, a little bit. This is a fat Kieran Black for beating Gyarados. This will chomp on Gyarados, but other bands can too, because Banded Bolt will 2 KO, and if they outrage, they don't kill you, so it's fine. But this set is like way more like trying to beat that type of thing. And yeah, I have a few more sets. These are like really like niche, like Chocolate Berry if you're weak to make a low punny and Sock, you know, I guess, and Heracross, I guess. If you're running Heracross, or if you're weak to Heracross, you might as well run HP Flying or something, because Magnezone doesn't really matter. Yeah, if your fighting type check is like Kieran Black, Haban, or Chopple, then you'll want to run Flying, HP Flying for Heracross, I guess. Not really common. Or really heard of in general. AV, I made this up, I can't remember what it beats, but it beats stuff. And then this is just like a theoretical set. I think I've run it. I won it, or one of my teammates won with it a few times, I think, in PL 1v1 Premier League 2. I don't remember the EVs, I think that team got lost. I had an Ampharos on it though, I think. Yeah, Kieran Black is really versatile. Scarf actually is a notably good Charizard matchup, not a terrible Gyarados matchup. And if you're faster than the Porygon Z, actually you can run Jolly if you want to hit Porygon Z, I guess, but I like Adamant more. I think it's stronger. It's cool. 482 is just so good, dude. It's so fucking good. It's hard to pass up on that. Beats Greninja, Scarf, as I mentioned. Greninja can beat a lot of stuff slower than it, not that much. But yeah, it beats a lot of Dragon types. Scarf is good for beating like Garchomp, Dragonite. Although I think, man, Garchomp and Dragonite should not be ranked the same. Yeah, it's good. It doesn't really beat, Scarf doesn't really beat Venusaur that much, or Whimsicott, or Slowbro, but yeah, that's why I think Scarf is kind of overrated. I think if you're gonna run Kieran Black, I think Scarf is, it's really whatever. But Kieran Black as a Mon is good, because you can fit it onto it. Don't like try to fit it onto a team. I think if you don't want to use it, you don't want to use it, but if it fits on a team, it fits on a team, you know, and that's what Kieran Black is pretty good at. It's not really my building style. Like, there are mons I prefer over Kieran Black, but I can't deny that Kieran Black is good. I don't know if it should be S, to be honest. A+ minimum, obviously, but it's, I don't know. I think bulkier sets that aren't Scarf definitely have a lot of opportunity cost, and Scarf is pretty meh. Not meh, but it's good, quote unquote, but loses the steals, and people are always going to run steals. It's like Scarf Kieran Black is never going to fuck them up, you know. Yeah. Omega, as I mentioned, steal, really good steal. Better than Metagross for kind of a bunch of reasons. I think Taunt Middle Burst is kind of part of the reason. Being able to beat like Genesect and stuff, and taunting Whimsicotts, taunting Venusaurs, player roughing Sableye. Also, I forgot to mention this earlier, but yeah, run Intimidate on this thing. On your regular Mawile. Hyper Cutter can be used to like really beat Gyarados. EQ Gyarados sometimes beats Mawile. But Hyper Cutter will always beat that. And now Hyper Cutter also has a good matchup versus other Mawiles, because you don't have to waste a turn SDing to Iron Head him twice. If you're running Hyper Cutter to beat like Gyarados and Mawile, I don't know, I think it's the niche, but definitely run Iron Head and a bit of speed. Yeah, Kieran Black as a whole is a good mon. It lacks one particular set that is really good, like a lot of these Pokemon have. Like Zardex, Wisp DD, Zard Y, 4 attacks or whatever, maybe Wisp over the 4th attack. Gyarados, bulky DD, Mawile, bulky attacker. But it doesn't really have like a good set, like a great set. Speaking of not having a great set, Porygon Z. I think Porygon Z is really fucking good, and this is what it'll run. It'll maybe run Scarf, because Scarf has a great matchup versus these 3 mons. And it can also just beat a lot of stuff faster than it, like Greninja, Garchomp, Uproar beats Whimsicott, you know, stuff like that. Faster mons mainly. But it's, I feel like Porygon Z is not, it's kind of hard to fit on a team because of its like lack of huge niche. In general, normal type is kind of whatever. But Scarf is a good set, I'll say that. Some people will run timid for like the jump on, I guess, other Porygon Z's and other stuff, I guess. Like here in black that are plus attack scarf, but modest. Also, I've seen people, I think, run like bulkier scarf sets. Well, actually, that doesn't outspeed Gyara, so maybe a little faster. But like maybe they'll run a little bit of HP. I don't know. I don't really know. Like why you really run that? But people do. Specs Porygon Z is really cool, because if you look at this rank, like a scarf kind of struggles with like the Rhyperior, Slowbro, Venusaur, Whimsicott type shit. But Specs blows right through them. Yeah, and like Hyper Beam can actually, I think Specs Hyper Beam can beat Aviazu. But yeah, Specs is like really powerful and shit. And if you need to be a lot of slow mons, then Specs is your go-to. Although I think Jump Bluff is better, stuff like that. This set I think is a pretty scary set. Endure, Nasty Plot, Hyper Beam. It can beat Heatrans. It can beat a lot of stuff. Like you're supposed to live an attack like an Outrage or something, and then you Nasty Plot up, and then you get a free Hyper Beam. And a +2 Hyper Beam, like a Nasty Plot Hyper Beam, hurts like a bitch. Porygon Z is pretty good. Definitely something to work out or look out for. Now, kind of want to get into like the stats back again. We got Kieran Black here, Heatran here, you know. We got Sableye Chomp. I'll get into those like now-ish. I got into Greninja, Malouetta. Oh man, I don't even have a Malouetta set. But I didn't know what it runs. It's pretty simple. It's simple specs, Hyper Beam, usually Uproar, Psyshock, Trick, something like that. Maybe T-Bolt over Uproar. But yeah, it's basically it's kind of a weird mon, but it's actually good at 1v1ing a lot of shit. Like it can Hyper Beam / Uproar these Pokemon. Karen Black too. Porygon Z, since Porygon Z can't really OHKO it. You know, it has a lot of matchup versus special attackers, and even some physical attackers that can OHKO it. You can definitely EV for Garchomp and Dragonite too. Yeah, and it beats like, you know, these type of mons that are good. You know, it's Specs is, it's really all it'll run, but it's a fine set. Just kind of a special attacker that loses to steel types mostly, but it can beat a lot of other stuff. It also loses to Mega Sableye-ish, and yeah, like it loses the steals pretty handedly. Like it doesn't have that much of a shot versus most steals. Although you can run HP Fire for Genesect or Focus Blast for some other shit. Yeah, and just 252. Next, you're gonna want to run Speed for Gyarados like this, like that ish. Kind of like a. How much usage did it get? Yeah, it doesn't get that much usage, but it's a good mon. Like it's on 5% of teams, 1 out of 20, I guess, not that much, but it's a 20-second used mon, and it's, well, if you think about OU, like OU is above 3.41 usage, so all these mons are OU. Meloetta, it's a relevant threat in the meta, although it's not really like as representative of usage stats. Mega Sableye, I didn't think it, like as I said earlier, I didn't think it'd be good, but yeah, I'm just gonna get the fat mons here because Whimsicott is a rank below. Yeah, I'm gonna go into Mega Sableye first. Mega Sableye, it's a pretty competent fat mon. Taunt, Metal Burst, both kind of do the same thing, beat Gyarados. But Wisp or Recover Foul Play is like the main deal. Like, look at this, like it can beat Gyarados, Porygon Z, typing wise, Kieran Black, Meloetta, Garchomp. It beats a lot of physical attackers. Like these 4 right here, it beats them. Also Magic Bounce good for Sableye. You can Wisp like Pinsir. Oh, why the fuck is Pinsir A-? That should definitely be B+. I will lower that soon. And Mew, it's good for some stall mons like Mew. CM is also a relevant threat in the meta. It's pretty fucking good. Good for like more poor. It doesn't beat Gyarados. It loses to Gyarados, but it can beat like Porygon Z, Greninja, Venusaur Mega, because Venusaur will just poke at Sableye with Sludge Bombs and Giga Drains, and there's nothing really Sableye can do about it. But yeah, it's because Venusaur, as we saw earlier, used twice, is really relevant. It's good as fuck. So yeah, Sableye is good. It's a good mon. It's good at like 3-0ing teams. Like it loses to Charizard pretty handedly. Like there's not much you can do versus Zard. I'm all wild too. But there are teams that will lack Zard and will really struggle with it. It's hard because fairy types in this meta aren't great. They're not that good. Unlike OU or Clefable's on this team or blah blah blah. Like teams can get 3-0'd. I think that's what Sableye does best. I think Sableye 3-0's teams best. Or just generally like threatens teams based off of their inability to beat it. Because if you don't have a Charizard or a Fairy or this specific thing for it, like it can beat like a lot of these Pokemon. Like CM is really good at beating like the B rank mons, or B plus B rank mons. Besides like Sylveon, like it can fucking crunch on a lot of these Pokemon. And if you're running a team with like an A minus B, like that's it, 3 of those type of mons, then you can get threatened by Sableye. Bad Charizard matchup, really bad Charizard matchup. But Taunt, Foul Play, Recover can beat X. I've seen it done before. Yeah, Sableye's really good. Sableye is like it isn't like, I don't know how to say it. Like it's a mon that got a lot more popular lately, but it's kind of like a really low-key mon. But I was gonna talk about Wims next, because it's Fatmon. Whimsicott is really versatile, but its versatility lies in its item slot, because Babiri is good for stuff like Metagross, Mawile, but it can also run Akaberry for like Charizard and Heatran, stuff like that. Volcanion too. Volcanion is not the most relevant mon of all time, mostly for Charizard. This set tries to live an Air Slash from Charizard Y and live a Flare Blitz from X. You're never going to live a Blast Burn, but that's what sub is for. Basically, this mon just leeches and then sub protects, and you don't really lose anything because you just get so much back from sub protect. You don't even need leftovers at all. Taunt is for Mega Gyarados, because if they taunt you, you're done. But there's not much else that'll want to taunt you besides maybe, I guess, Mew. Yeah, Mew. For Mewtwo, I guess. Yachi is, it's for like, I guess, Specs, Kieran Black, and Greninja. Kind of niche, but there are teams where you're gonna want to use your Whimsicott to beat Greninja, Ice Team Greninja, and Specs, Kieran Black too. Why not? This set, it's not Air Slash Shocka. It's kind of trash. It tries to beat like Garchomp and Sock that'll poison jab you to take advantage of your 4 times weakness to poison. But I don't know, Wims, it just gets poisoned by those moves and dies. Like I've seen it done so many times. But yeah, Wims got pretty good. I haven't talked about Venusaur, so I might as well do it. I'm kind of going out of order, but I just want to go to A, and then I'm probably done. Viability rankings wise, just kind of want to talk about why mons are good. Venusaur. Here, let me find a team with it. Here, this is a good team with it. It in OU is kind of like supposed to be a Keldeo switch in and kind of a wall, but in this meta, it's really splashable. It can beat Zardex with Charm. It can beat Gyarados. It will beat Gyarados. You'll never lose to it. It actually can beat Kieran Black if they're not Specs. Can beat non-extra sensory Greninja. Can beat like a lot of these mons lose to Venusaur because they just can't really do much about it. Charming or leeching. I think Venusaur in a weird way has the biggest 4 move slot syndrome in the entire tier. Like it's like you want Giga Drain, Synthesis, Sludge Bomb, and then like Amnesia, Leech Seed, Sleep Powder. Whoops, I can't type. And then HP Fire for Mawile, but really you're gonna want to have Dual Stab plus Synthesis plus whatever, Charm mostly for Gob and Garchomp. But you can run one without Giga Drain, since you don't really need it for Gyarados and like Azumarill. Although that loses to like Taunt Tyranitar, as I saw in a game. You can try to do a lot with Venusaur, but I don't know. I think it's Synthesis, Charm, double stab is the best. It can beat this. It's good at, it's really good at beating like these type of mons. These type of mons too. Like Venusaur, it's actually kind of hard to build against, because like Zard X can lose to like Charm, and then a lot of mons just can struggle with. Like if you don't have a really strong special attacker or have some sort of type matchup against it, you might lose to Venusaur. It's kind of like Sableye. Like you might just get 3-0'd by it if you don't have this mon, and it's almost better than Sableye in that way for being able to compete like Charizard X, because like Charizard, it's not like an omnipresent mon, but I don't let S plus deceive you. I think S plus, I don't know, I don't really like how that's rated. I think these mons are more S minus and these are S plus. I think this is S and these are S minus, but yeah, they're not like, Charizard isn't like the best mon of all time, like undefeatable Primal Groudon shit. It's good, it's like the best mon in the tier, but yeah, Venusaur is just really good at beating a lot of teams in general. And so I'm just move on here. What haven't I talked about? Talked about all three of these guys. Dragonite. Oh, I don't even have a set for fucking love Dragonite set. But here, let me get one. Dragonite. This is what people run. Choice Band Outrage, EQ, Fire Punch, Superpower. Because multi-scale, you don't die sometimes, then you like kill shit. That's the idea, but I don't know. I think Banded Dragonite in this meta is not that great, because Zard just wisps you, Gyarados beats you, Kieran Black beats you, Mawile beats you. You can Superpower Porygon, yeah, you'll beat Porygon like that. Oh, I think Specs can actually beat Porygon, or can beat Dragonite. But it loses to Gren, it can beat Mellow, loses to Sableye. Has a lot of weird, not great matchups. It has a lot of mad matchups versus like fat shit, like bulky offense, like Wisp Guard, Chansey, Counter Chansey, Azu, Altaria, Mew. Like this rank kind of beats up Dragonite, and so does up here. Like I don't know, Dragonite is like not anti-meta. Like the meta can fuck it up sometimes, but I like Dragonite with Specs, cause Zards will wisp you and then you Draco them and kill them, or you can HP Rock, because Zardex will never ever Mega versus Dragonite and Outrage. That's like, it's a losing play. You can Specs, like if you're paranoid about Spidef, then you can Spidef Zardex, then you can run HP Rock, Spec Dragonite. It's just better. It beats Zards, which is really cool. And yeah, it doesn't really beat Sableye or anything like that, but it can also beat Garchomp because you don't take recoil. Shit like that. And Hurricane is cool for Venusaur, that'll try to charm you or something. Specs T-Bolt is good for picking off Slow Burn to KOing it. Yeah, HP Poison, you can run that for Whimsicott. Yeah, it's just like Specs has way more anti-meta options. This is like not a very anti-meta set. This is an anti-meta set. But yeah, Dragonite, it's alright. It does some things, but it loses to a lot of bulky shit. And a lot of shit the 1v1 meta uses and is prepared for. Will be Dragonite. It's an okay mon. I think maybe it should be A-, but who knows. Garchomp is fucking amazing. Here, do I have a Garchomp in here? Yeah, I do. Garchomp. And I was going to talk about anti-Zard stuff after I finish up the A rank. Zard, or Garchomp is, it's a flawed Pokemon. I'll say that. It's flawed in the metagame. But, Banded is good. It's anti-meta. It's like good at doing what it does. It beats Charizard, right? It beats Whimsicott. It beats like meta. It beats Steels and it beats Charizard. And that is a good portion of the meta. If you looked at this, like that is like up there. And it can beat Venusaur if they're not Charm. It can beat Heatran with Fling, Poison Jab, Whims, Iron Tail on guard. Like it's a solid mod. It is really splashable. It's one of the most splashable ones. Like countering Zard is not the easiest thing in the world, but if you want to do it, just slap on a Charizard, right? And you can beat Steel types, which are very prevalent in the meta, and and Zard. And you also obviously beat a lot of other stuff, but like, you know, Archeops. Actually, Archeops Bandit Outrage kills you. Yeah, Steels and Zard are a lot, and just a lot of ground weak stuff in general. Like Mega Ampharos, you know, Volcanion. Entei, whatever, you know. It's a good mon. It's really splashable. And it's paired with stuff that, like, isn't as good versus Charizard. Maybe like a Sableye or something, because that, you know, beats Gyarados. And Current Black, while Zard beats, you know, Mawile. Pretty good partnership there. Garchomp is hella good in the metagame. It's flawed though, like it loses to water, it loses to this. Garrett Mega Gyarados, Scarf Current Black, Scarf Porygon Z, Scarf, or not Scarf Greninja, Fast Greninja. It has a weird matchup versus Maul. I think it's like RH maybe it's like a 50% chance to kill, I don't know. It doesn't beat Sableye, but it can beat Steel types and it beats like Zard, and that's kind of all I really needed to do, but it has a lot of flaws, especially kind of like Dragonite versus like Fat Mons. Like Charm Venusaur, Mega Slowbro. Yeah. It's flawed, but it's good. And let me see how much usage it gets. Probably, yeah, it gets a decent amount because it beats Private Mons. It is really good versus these type of Mons, you know, the top Mons. Steels, the Zards, Poison Jab on Whimsicott. Like, it's a good Mon to build with. But yeah. Rhyperior, do I have a Rhyperior set? Should. Yeah. You can run Band too. Band Rhyperior is okay. But this is better for Zard Y, because you endure on the Solar Beam and then you fucking Rock Wrecker it with Custap. It's alright. Wait, I don't know. Just run Solid Rock. Yeah. It's cool. It's cool, man. I prefer Garchomp as like a Zard kind of like Steel check, because it's just more powerful, but Rhyperior is definitely like pretty solid. Not much else to say. Kind of like Garchomp, like a lot of the same stuff. Custap, you can endure on the Greninja and then Rock Wrecker it, which would be cool. A lot better of a Porygon Z matchup, I'll tell you that, and it beats Current Black too. It's a cool one. Although I think the Zard matchup is like worse because, you know, if you don't endure, or if they air slash on your endure, then you're fucked. Like, you're not necessarily fucked, you're obviously going to endure again, but if they solar beam you, you're fucked a lot of the time. But endure is cool for beating like other stuff, like maybe a Porygon 2 with SD. It's a little bit better versus fat shit. Not super better, but it's alright. Yeah, Rhyperier's pretty good. Slowbro, it's not on here. I don't have a set for it, but I'll just make one. Slowbro. Amnesia, Slackoff, Scald. Yeah, it's a type. Yeah, you run Spidef. This is the one time Showdowns were right about that type of thing. You can run Rest over, like, Slack Off for like, maybe Mega Sableye winning the PP War. You're definitely going to want Oblivious before Mega Evolving, so that you beat Taunt Gyarados. Taunt and Crunch Gyarados both lose to this. This is a Gyarados counter, believe it or not. It's not much Gyarados can do besides Crit Crunch, because Molebreaker can do it on Shell Armor, but it's not like common. Like, I wouldn't expect that, you know. And Slowbro is hella cool versus like these type of mons, you know. Same with like Mew and Sableye, blah blah blah, but you know, it's solid. Can beat like, actually it doesn't beat T-Bolt Meloetta, but it can beat Karen Black. Should beat Karen Black if you are in defense. Beats Zardex, beats Gyarados. It's a solid mon. It does have a little bit of competition with Keyberry, Mew, and Mega Sableye for like a fat stall user. Same with Venusaur, maybe wins too. It's like a fat staller, but yeah, the meta isn't staller, by the way. Just thought I'd share. So yeah, Slowbro's pretty good. And that's about it for the top mons. I'll get to other stuff later. But yeah, I'm just gonna get to the anti-Zard stuff. Like, I just wanted to tap on into like how to beat Charizard, because it can be annoying sometimes. So basically, I'm just gonna briefly go through a Banchomp. This set, Landorus, is fucking trash. I used to like it, but I don't know, I think it's very subpar. Like, you just get flame charged when you sub and lose, and it's not the most common thing ever, but like, it's definitely crept its way in from SM to ORAS. This set on the internet is really cool. Scarf Lando T. Kind of like a fusion between Garchomp and this thing. Yeah, I'd run Sludge Wave over Superpower or whatever that was, Outrage. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It beats Charizard. You just Rock Slide, Scarf Rock Slide wins. This is kind of an OU set-ish. Defense stat is for defense EVs are for Mega Mawile. Player plus Sucker. But I think you will lose to Burst. Yeah, you'll probably lose to Metal Burst, but that's not the most common thing. Although it is rising. Mega Camel is pretty. Oh, this also Scarf Superpower beats Porygon Z. That's why you have speed. It's pretty cool. Not all of them. Ender will win, but yeah. Mega Camel, it's I think it's outclassed by Heatran, like almost completely, but it's okay. Golem and Donphan are both super meh. They were both better in the old meta. They're just kind of not that great. They're not even that good versus Charizard. Wispzard is kind of good versus them. And rock types are really good for beating Zard, like Banded Track, Banded Archeops, this kind of bulky T-Star set. Regular Diancie, Mega. It's not something you'd think that is great, but it's actually pretty solid. It's like a rock and fairy. Like this is so anti-meta this set. You can run HP Electric for Gyarados that don't want a Mega. This is Mega Diancie, kind of the same thing, but a little bit different. Kind of has less of a defined niche, I'd say, since like this thing just it's old reliable. Like it's kind of you just sit there. This thing kind of not a great Fizz Def. You maybe can lose a Charizard if you fuck around. This set loses a Charizard if you get Air Slash flinched into Solar Beam, but it's not the most common thing ever, since a lot of them are. It's mostly X's over Y's. SD Ender, and then Dragon's Scarf Gear Black is a good matchup versus Zard. Not completely amazing, but it's good. Specs Latios is pretty fucking good versus Zard, although Spadef can beat it, so that's you can run HP Rock if you're paranoid. If your only thing to beat Spadef's Zard X is Latios, then run HP Rock, I'd say, because they'll never Mega. They don't want to just get Draco and die, and Y can't really do anything to you. Scarf Haxorus is kind of cool. Outrage, Superpower. It's kind of like Kieran Black and other stuff. Rock Slide for Zard, because they won't really Mega. Superpower for Porygon Z. Poison Jab for wins. Kind of like Scarflando T, a lot like Scarflando T, but that beats Mawile. This set kind of the same. Aqua Tail actually beats Heatran, which is pretty cool. And then Haban Gudra is something you can use. Kind of a meme pick, but it's definitely usable if you want to beat Zard in a quirky way. And it beats other stuff maybe. It's good for other dragons also. And Mega Gyarados with Edge is really good versus Zard. Like that'll beat it. And I think this is probably like the best. Viability wise, it's the best Charizard check because it's also in the same rank as Charizard. But yeah, Stone Edge it beats bulky Ys and some bulky X's if they wanna. Well, it beats all bulky X's if they wanna stay regular. But I don't know. Azu, I'll talk about this one later. It's pretty fucking good. Beats Zard. Not much else to say. Greninja, Modest. Both of these two kind of lose to Spadef, but yeah, they're pretty good in general. Volcanion way less, so it's kind of a niche mon, but Specs is pretty good. And so yeah, that's honestly all I really wanted to say. Like I just wanted to talk about all the top mons and how to beat them. You know, I'll get like part 2, part 3, whatever. This might actually be part 2. I don't know. Depends, because I've been talking for a long ass time. So yeah, peace dudes. I'll have all the shit in the description.